he reports in from Freedom Base 1.
Gigi, I've decided not to leave this town. Maybe I can stay and find some other nice people who will like me and accept me for who I am.
Trusting your spirit, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Hello everyone, igama lami Luyanda Mbatha. Alongside me is...
Hi, mina Lindelwe Dlamini, and I am a fourth-year student currently studying public relations at the Durban University of Technology.
And I am a brand strategist, and I am studying at Vega, doing my final year. So today we're gonna focus on 3 topics that we are gonna be diving in depth with. Basically, the conversation is gonna be in the linings of personal branding and the elements of building your own personal brand. I think when we speak about stuff like that, it's very important to see yourself as a tunnel vision. What is your timeline that you wish to establish?
That is true. That I feel like also you need to know like the type of people that you want to work with and what you expect from the public so that you can have like a clear vision on what exactly you need to do, so you not like stumble on anything, you know what I mean? So when it comes to like social media platforms, you know it's okay. For example, should I focus more on Instagram or should I focus more on Twitter to get my content out there, you know?
I think, well, with the social media part of things, for me, I think understanding the 3 stages of personal branding is also very much beneficial, because imsebenzi yamanje ayisafani imsebenzi from 10 years ago, where people are actually building themselves as personal brands, and it's actually what is bringing in majority of imali for a number of people. Like I know for me with in the essence of influencing.
Yes.
On social media, it's the hardest thing because that's the one platform that is forever changing. So understanding uguti, what does your audience want and how can you cater to them is ideally very much important.
But I also feel like people need to realize that content is literally right in front of us. When you want to create content, you can literally step out the house, and so depend on how you take pictures. Exactly, you know, because just a few days ago, I was trying out this whole thing of like content creating, and literally I was running errands at Pavilion. And I literally took pictures of where I was having lunch. And then when I posted those pictures, people literally reacted in such a positive way.
It's about understanding your audience and the type of content that they're willing to engage with. I think when it comes to social media branding, that's the one thing that is easily influenced and is forever in a changing element. Like, especially for a micro influencer or a micro individual that is like wanting to break into that type of market.
Exactly.
So when kuyinto ekanjalo, it's you need to understand what's okay. Where is the current market? It's sort of like selling a product. You need to see yourself as the product that is going into a particular market. So when ukepi, and where do you see a gap within that market that you can make a difference? There's a number of brands that are currently missing the nail on the hammer type of scenario, because they don't understand that just because everyone is riding the same wave, it doesn't now eliminate other aesthetics when it comes to branding.
And another thing, I always feel like they know what they need to do to brand or to approach a brand, you know.
Which is also very important. Like approach, like brand approaching it's how you get the word out there. So
I just feel like you should need to like do research, like proper research. Ask people around. As much as people you know, if you want to ask them for like information, some people be like, no, ngavele nje nami, I did research, ngangena, you know what I mean? So now as a person, do research on your own. And mawazi ukuthi, okay, for example, if let's say you have beautiful hair, let me try to approach, for example, Dark and Lovely. Let me do a hair care routine, you know, it's a Saturday. Let me just wake up on a Saturday morning, wash my hair, and literally tag that brand. No matter it takes you so long and months or a year, but if you want that, izoyenzeka literally.
Because when it comes to izinto ekanjalo, when you see yourself as a personal brand, you need to understand that you are positioning yourself in the market as an individual that is willing to influence and impact.
Exactly.
So if you are someone that is looking to influence and impact, you need to be bringing something to the table that is going to tell you apart from your competitors, like similar again to like selling a product. So how you can tell yourself from your competitors is using key elements that abanye babo are not focusing on.
Exactly.
So
like,
I
what's
know
different
myself,
about you? What are you bringing to the table that's different in the lab?
That's going to tell you apart.
Exactly.
So, which is what actually creates engagement and is actually building when it comes to your following. Because Omuntu doesn't want to be seeing you posted up in big brand names that an ordinary person with a regular salary cannot afford. They want someone that is going to be relatable, someone that is going to be able to like
exactly, and that's when people engage with your content more if they see themselves lapho.
It's also about like ukuthi ukwazi ube ne-elements of ukhombisa ukuthi umuntu ukuthi uyakwazi ukuthi ube
exactly. It's not just a matter of it's a brand, you know.
Yeah, because what I found with my own brand building, because we all brands as individuals, especially in this day and age where we are competing against job unemployment,
exactly,
and another number of influencing factors. So like personal branding is the one thing that I think they need to be focusing on.
I was literally thinking about that a few days ago, especially in high school, you know, they need to teach, because as much as branding and creating content, it's more like abantu besifazane abayenzayo, but I feel like nomuntu wesilisa can do it, you know. But if bengabafundisi, they're not gonna if I'm making sense, you know.
It's like the controversy around it's actually the stigma around being a personal brand. Exactly. On a daily basis. They're forgetting that that's not the only key element when it comes to branding. It's mainly about that has to do with it. So if you are uzazi kahle ukuthi umuntu othanda into like amasuti, there is a huge market exactly. in that type of aspect that you could bridge into.
But I also feel like with this whole branding thing, it's also very important to know about PR, public relations, since I study public relations, because PR iyakusiza to get your content out there for you. You don't necessarily need to do it wena yourself, you know. Ibona abazoyenza ukuthi okay, i-target audience yethu yini kahle kahle, what yini esimele siyenze thina to get the people out there ukuthi bafune i-product yethu ukuthi or bafune ukuthi i-product yethu bayithande, you know what I mean. So i-PR iyakumela as a person, because they really do make sure ukuthi they build a very good brand reputation, and igama lakho or necessarily like igama le company like bazolakha kahle and lazi ukuthi okay, this company or this client une positive into ayenzayo iba yinhle, if I can put it that way.
Okay, so I've got one question for you. If I see myself as a person that's looking to break into that type of market, what maybe 3 elements do you think would be important to implement when it comes to personal branding in terms of public relations?
Okay, first of all, we need to know what's okay. For example, let's say what would you want to do? Probably.
Let's say you're wanting to break into skincare.
Okay, skincare. First of all, we're going to look at social media platforms. That's the only thing also, like your word, that's going to get your content out there. So in public relations, is as a team, and okay, which social media platform is zama to get your content out there? Probably Instagram. Siyazi ukuthi abantu are always on their phones, and they always, especially women, they're always on their phones. They're always wanting, okay, which makeup can I get? Siyazi ukuthi there are so many people out there, influencers now, but they're always trying to get their content on Instagram. So Instagram is very broad because I feel like amanye they wouldn't be as big. Content yakho ngeke zifike ngokusheshsha, you know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah, so I know from a strategic point of view, you're going to need a blueprint. There's no business plan there's no business that goes off without a blueprint. Mm-hmm. You need to know, Uguti, what is my goal and what am I aiming to achieve in implementing this type of branding strategy plan.
Yes.
So you need to understand, what am I willing to display out? What am I not willing to display out? Because when it comes to branding, you also don't want to be doing something that doesn't align with your values.
Exactly.
More important, more than anything. So in that element, you then gonna now create a strategy. You would see, this is where I see myself as a brand within a 6-month platform. And this is the type of stuff that I engage with, because if you are wanting to break into that type of market, that is, today you're advertising Gentle Magic, the next day you're advertising Katakira, you're showing no brand loyalty. So that means you yourself as an individual, you can't take a stand for something. So brands want someone that is always going to reassure them, come rain or high waters, nati type of thing.
You're just consistent in one.
Yeah, they want to show consistency. So I think Izinto Eganjalo is going to be very helpful. And obviously, the more you grow, the more your taste in branding is going to change as your taste in
And I also feel like don't be afraid to try out new things, you know. Don't be afraid. It's okay, since I'm now doing this type of thing, like be funda. Nje zivulele ethubeni lokufunda izinto and nje learn, always be wanting to learn new things all the time.
And yeah, I think that is also another key element, because when you're starting off with something, you obviously need something that's going to kickstart you into that type of environment that you want to be in.
That's true.
So it's like, if funding, you need a cash injection to kickstart your business plan. So you need a strategy injection to kickstart your business plan. So I think the 5 key points when it comes to personal branding that you need to make sure that you always play by and keep them as a guide in your personal branding is staying true to yourself, number 1, because you don't want to find yourself overextending or selling yourself to a brand that you're now losing your moral compass.
That's true.
Take a stand in the type of brand, take a stand in the type of market that you want to be in. Mm-hmm. So if you are someone that is against animal cruelty, so irrespective of how much money that type of company is giving, you need to stay true to your values, because your followers, majority of the time, are people that are sharing the same values as you. 3, being never, like what I found with myself as well, is that when brands tend to approach you wanting to work with you and they're like, okay, usebenza ngamalini, it's an awkward conversation.
That
It's always an awkward conversation.
Like I just wanted to ask Uguti, how do you say no when a brand approaches you? Because sometimes abanye abantu think about money first, you know. So how do you say no?
Personal branding is you're not doing something to not see the value, your value out of it. So you want to see what's okay. Sengisebenzile ngathola okuthile because at the end of the day money makes the world go round. So
Most definitely.
you don't want to find yourself now undervaluing yourself ngenxa yokuthi ubuka the brand yokuthi it's so big that if I overprice them, bazongishiya bethi no, you're too expensive, and you don't want to see yourself, you don't want to find yourself underpricing yourself as well. So understanding the type of brands that you are wanting to associate yourself with, need to understand because brands also take advantage of yourself. Because if you are a personal brand, you need to also understand what you're selling yourself as a product.
That's true.
So now you can't be selling your product at 10 Rand a day, but because Bill Gates wants to buy it, you're going to sell it at 7 Rand.
7 Rand.
You're trying to accommodate a brand association. It's really, really not worth it because majority of the time, that person is normally going to refer you to someone else, and now it's going to create a ripple effect of thinking, so understanding value as a brand yourself is very, very crucial. And then setting achievable goals for yourself. A 6-month plan, they're called short-term goals, like your short-term branding
And I genuinely
goals.
feel like short-term goals really are important. You know, you are able to vision it's okay, where am I headed at?
They create so much perspective because if you can't say you want to be working with A, B, and C by the end of the year, but not creating content, not working towards achieving those goals. Setting goals in every aspect is something that is going to assist you in wanting to create direction as well.
And
It's going to help with navigation. Okay, angahlali phansi sengithe ngifuna ukwenza, so let me put means and action plans that are going to help me achieve that.
because what I've noticed about this whole thing about branding and content is that you need to be out like all the time. So sometimes a person is genuinely an introvert and
Like me.
so like umuntu is an introvert. So now since they bayangena manje kulo mkhakha ukuthi content needs to be created, most of the time, every week you need to be out creating content because there's a brand waiting for you. It's okay, what did you do for this week? You know, you can't be just uhleli ekhaya. So I just think it's very important now ukuthi nje uzazi ngempela ukuthi ufunani nawe, ungacabangi i-brand kuphela wena as a person, njengoba dushilo Luyanda ukuthi knowing your goals and uzazi ukuthi make figure i-brand. Sometimes there are things that you just need to say no to if wazi ukuthi no akhamselani nami lokho.
Thank you for tuning in. We are at World Gospel Impact, and that concludes our segment.